Despite northern pushback, CBN redeploys 1,500 staff to Lagos operations. Army rescues 35 kidnapped victims in Katsina. Pregnant women forced to give birth prematurely during Mango crisis recount unimaginable ordeal. On the international scene, Pakistan former Prime Minister Imran Khan jailed 10 years for leaking state secrets. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you for joining us. And now the news in full. At least 1,500 members of staff of the Central Bank of Nigeria will on Friday resume at its Lagos office following their redeployment from the headquarters. A source at the Apex Bank said the plan, though heavily criticized, was still in motion, with affected staffers expected to resume on Friday. The latest development comes on the backdrop of the decision of the new management to relocate some of CBN's departments to the country's economic hub for staff safety, increased productivity, and to decongest its head office. CBN said the action was necessitated by several factors, including the need to align the bank structure with its functions and objectives and redistribute skills to ensure a more even geographical spread of talent. It added that it was also in compliance with building regulations as indicated by repeated warnings from the facility manager and the findings and recommendations of the Committee on Decongestion of the CBN head office. And away from that, the Nigerian army says its troops have rescued 32 kidnapped victims during a search and rescue operation in Katsina State. The information officer of Operation Andriod, Yahya Ibrahim, in a statement on Tuesday, disclosed that the troops also killed 2 suspected terrorists during the operation on Saturday. Ibrahim stated that the troops engaged the terrorists in a gun duel at some identified terrorist camps at Dumburum Forest, which led to the death of 2 suspected terrorists, while others fled with injuries. He added that the rescued kidnapped victims, including 19 male adults, 12 female adults, and 4 children, were handed over to the Katsina State government by the Commander, 17th Brigade Nigerian Army and Sector 2 Operation Andriod, Brigadier General O.A. Fadero. Fadero pledged to continue the attack on the terrorist enclaves. Still on security matters, Governor Diko Umaru Rada of Katsina State on Monday received 35 individuals who were recently rescued from the clutches of armed bandits in Tashar Nagole and Nahuta, Batsari local government area. Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Ibrahim Kaula Mohammed, who stated this in a press release, said it was as a result of the commendable rescue efforts by security agencies and the governor's unwavering commitment to combating insecurity in the state. According to the statement, the Nigerian Army, under the command of Brigadier General A.O. Fadero, successfully carried out the operation and handed over the rescued civilians to Governor Rada at the Katsina State Government House. Governor Rada commended the absence of casualties among both the security operatives and the rescued individuals and announced initiatives by the Katsina State government, including free medical assistance for bandit attack victims, allowances for security agencies, and educational support for those who lost parents during terrorist attacks. Earlier, Brigadier General Fadero, while briefing the governor on the rescue operation, stated that the victims were freed from the Dumburum Forest after a fierce gun battle between soldiers and the bandits. Now, pregnant women who delivered outdoors amid the crisis in Mango Town, Plateau State, are sharing their harrowing experiences during the recent ethno-religious conflict that claimed lives and caused extensive property damage in the area. Trust TV's Adomusa tells the story of 3 women who delivered their babies at a time of great unrest.
Numerous pregnant women unexpectedly welcomed their babies earlier than anticipated. In heartfelt conversations with Trust TV, some mothers revealed that the premature birth occurred before the doctor's estimated due date. They attributed the early deliveries to obstetric distress triggered by the alarming sound of gunshots and the pervasive fear stemming from the crisis. Zainab, among these women, vividly recounted giving birth to her baby on the street, capturing the intense moment of seeking safety amid the crisis.
I was still sleeping in the early hours of the morning when I started hearing gunshots. I woke up in confusion. When I came out of the house, I saw hundreds of people, including women and children, running from one direction to the other. My heart started beating, and my stomach also started hurting. I fell down, and before I knew it, I started experiencing labor pains, and the baby was about to come out. Luckily, a woman who was passing by stopped and helped me deliver the baby. Our house has been burnt down. I have not been able to go to the hospital up till this moment. The whole thing started in the morning. People were running helter-skelter for their lives. Everybody in my compound had fled and left me alone. I didn't know what to do due to my condition. Moments later, I started having back and abdominal pain. Unknown to me, it was labor pains. I didn't expect labor to set in because my estimated delivery date had not reached. After some time, I gave birth to the baby and later informed the neighbor on phone that I had given birth. We just found ourselves in crisis in the morning. The whole community was in confusion. I didn't expect labor because it was not yet time. I know if not for this crisis, I would not have given birth in the open. Some of us delivered our babies on the streets, and some even in the mosque, because of the situation we found ourselves in. We have no food to eat as we speak.
Medical experts note that women experiencing preterm birth often face elevated risks of health complications and negative emotions toward their newborns in the initial postnatal months. Despite these challenges, these women are now appealing for medical assistance and additional support to alleviate the impact of the crisis. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Away from Jos and now to Imo State. Following the alarm raised by residents, especially local hunters in the state on the rising menace of kidnapping for ransom and killings in the Okohia forest of Nekede, Obinze and Federal University of Technology Owerri communities of Imo State, operatives of the State Police Command have launched a massive operation geared at combing major forests serving as criminals' hideouts in the state. The operation has unraveled a deadly kidnappers' den where 4 decomposed bodies of persons suspected to be kidnapped victims were recovered. Ajibade Praise was there and filed in this report.
I am currently standing at the Okohia forest. This is the place said to have been hideout of many kidnappers in the state. It was a long walk of about 12 kilometers into the deep forest as the police traced the possible paths of the men of the underworld. Finally, the search yielded the desired result with the unraveling of a gory sight as the operatives led by the Commissioner of Police, Danjuma Aboki, who stormed the forest, made a shocking discovery. Decomposed bodies of persons, male and female, were discovered at various points inside the deep forest. Speaking on the development, Aboki said the command will not relent in its efforts to bring total peace and security in the state.
There was an information that men of underworld, that is the hoodlums, they will kidnap from the town, bring their victims to this forest. They either demand for ransom, either paid or not paid, they kill their victims. Before you and I, we have recovered about 4 corpses this morning. We are going to dominate our operation in this forest.
Shoes, mobile phones, and other belongings of the victims were still at the bizarre location. The president of local hunters in the communities, Hassan Osiamobulu, and some leaders who raised the alarm decried the deadly activities of the criminals. They opined that if appropriate synergy is maintained, total peace and security will be achieved.
These kidnappers that kidnapped those people, brought them here. Even when they collected ransom, they murdered them in their cold blood, which is it's astonishing. That is the reason why I am here. Today is Monday. Ordinarily, I'm a publisher. So I shouldn't have been here. But I have to be here to mobilize my boys to come here. We are here. We are the people, hunters that I just called within how many minutes? We are more than 100 here.
No, we have good synergy with sister agencies, vigilante groups, the hunters. The hunter, this is the president of the hunter. He follows us to this forest. He came with not less than 60 persons. And we policemen were not less than 150 persons. We divided ourselves in different sectors.
That's the situation in Imo State as we speak right now. In line with the core mandate of the Imo State Police Command to eradicate criminal elements from the state, the CP is combing all the forests in the state to ensure that peace is maintained at all costs. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
Quite a sad development there in Imo State. And now more to security matters and now to the Federal Capital Territory. Stakeholders in the nation's security sector have been speaking on the security measures being proposed by the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, to tackle the rising insecurity in the nation's capital. One of the proposals is the ban on operation of unpainted taxis and buses within the metropolis as a way of reducing incidents of one-chance robberies that have surged in recent times. Trust TV's Habiba Tajayi spoke with some stakeholders and now reports.
The FCT administration is racing against time to tackle escalating security challenges that have bedeviled the nation's capital in recent months. Security experts say the increasing insecurity in the Federal Capital Territory and its surroundings reflects poorly on the government at the federal level. With the ban on unpainted taxis and buses plying Abuja roads announced last week, FCT residents are questioning this proposal, pointing to the absence of CCTV coverage, stalled light rail projects, and the lack of an effective transportation system. These concerns persist despite the federal government's approval of a tracking system.
I've been in Abuja for so many years. There are some estates you can never work in Abuja. There are some estates where we say yes, you know people use taxi driver. Which they will told you that unpainted, even though with the University of Abuja is among of all these places. If you go ever be estate now to carry a drop now, somewhere if you're unpainted, they're not going to allow you enter.
The absence of CCTV cameras, is forms more like a gap in terms of having proper coverage of, proper security coverage. To a great extent, we as a country, and our security operatives, particularly Nigerian police, lack the necessary manpower to deal with issues of organized crime in the country. Since the new IG came in, he publicly, asserted to the fact that the Nigerian police was undermanned, and even from certain quarters, we understand that even in the FCTA, the Nigerian police is underarmed. Several officers, especially skilled officers, are engaged in, close protection services rather than dealing with general security concerns.
The National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, have pledged its support and aligned with the federal government and all stakeholders to register both existing and new members in FCT and its environs as a way of curbing insecurity. Meanwhile, representatives of road transport employees, civil society groups and residents are collectively advocating the implementation of robust measures to restructure the nation's capital.
Let them be put together into a database of some sort, and maybe a kind of ID card should be issued to these people so that you don't just register a car and the driver gives the car to another driver who is not a registered transporter, who is not a registered driver in the system. That way, when so he will not say he's not aware that his brother or his wife or his sibling used the car to go and commit a crime.
He's supposed to come down to the driver and ask them, what do you people need? How do we incorporated you to this arrangement that we are making? Then the driver would say, like, they're supposed to create a park, a proper park. This one is not a park, proper park for us. And they collect their revenue, you understand me? And they pay some of the people that they needed to pay.
Stakeholders believe that through collective efforts, issues of insecurity will be drastically reduced in the Federal Capital Territory. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
We'll go over now to Borno State, where Governor Babagana Zulum has charged newly appointed and elected officials to ensure the development of the state in discharging their duties. The governor stated this during the inauguration of 29 special advisors, 7 permanent secretaries and 27 local government chairmen. He urged the local council chairmen and advisors to prioritize tackling poverty, insecurity, unemployment and avoid self-interest. While charging the new officials to work for the prosperity of the state, Zulum urged them to provide expertise and knowledge on policy development and economic matters relevant to his administration's agenda.
In view of this, I wish to enjoin you to live up to the expectation of the government and people of the state, considering the fact that you are professionals in your chosen careers and experienced politicians and bureaucrats, respectively. To the special advisor, you should advise the void of personal interest or that of a section of the state. As special advisors, you are for the whole state and must consider the interests of the state first before any other interest.
Office is aware of the daily depletion of the service due to massive mandatory retirements, and we are happy that His Excellency has given us the green light to work out appropriate, workable and sustainable measures to bridge the skill gaps.
Coming these challenges that true leadership emerges. I therefore employ all the chairmen to draw experiences, inspirations, and courage through His Excellency, who despite all the risks, dangers, and threats, have shown remarkable strength, courage, determination, zeal, zest, and enthusiasm to deliver good governance, which has been widely recognized, acknowledged, and appreciated.
This is a news update on Trust TV, coming up after the break. 194 medical students get overseas scholarship to India and Cyprus. Details of this story more to come after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying. If you're just joining us, this is the Trust TV News Update. Now let's take a look at a recap of some of our top stories. You heard that despite northern pushback, CBN redeploys 1,500 staff to Lagos operations. Army rescues 35 kidnapped victims in Katsina. And now moving on to more news stories. Residents of Gudum Sayawa in Bauchi State have appealed to the federal and state governments to provide them with alternative sources of livelihoods, as unregulated mining has led to loss of lives in the community. Reacting to a recent incident where 4 people were killed at a mining site, a community leader who briefed Trust TV on the development described the incident as horrible. Adamu Imam completes the report.
Gudum Sayawa is an area situated in the suburb of Bauchi Metropolis and mostly populated by an agrarian people. According to them, the removal of fuel subsidy compelled them to engage in unregulated mining activities in the area, which has led to the death of 4 people with several others injured. We need government to come and assess the mining site to see if it is safe for artisanal miners to work there, so we don't lose our villages again. If that is done, it will reduce the risks associated with mining operations. Family members of affected victims also share their thoughts, saying the current high cost of living necessitated their resort to mining activities as a means of survival.
We and our children go to the mining site and dig for precious stones. Since the cost of living has shot up, we have no choice. Our husbands cannot afford to foot our bills anymore, leaving us with no choice. After discovering the mine site, our people shifted to mining immediately. I joined them last year, but while working at the site, I got fractured. The proceeds from mining is helping us and our family members, especially some of us that have plenty children.
We caution some of them at the site to be on alert so that if they sense any danger, they can leave immediately. Mining is helping us a lot because some of our people have started reaping the benefit through several means, as those who barely afford food can now do so. At the mine site, operators said at least 100 people go there on daily basis to mine different minerals and transaction with other business communities as a source of income. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And on to health matters. The Jigawa state government has sent forth no fewer than 194 medical students set to pursue their MBBS degrees in India and Cyprus. The ceremony, presided over by the governor, highlighted the state's commitment to nurturing a robust healthcare system for the state.
Out of the 194 students, 117 are females, a strategic move emphasized by the governor. He emphasized the importance of having a significant number of female doctors to cater to the healthcare needs of female patients. The governor noted that government is set to invest more than 30 billion naira in the education of the students, covering tuition, accommodation, and other related expenses. He said the investment reflects the state's dedication to producing well-trained medical professionals that will contribute significantly to the healthcare sector upon their return.
On behalf of the Jigawa State Executive Council and the government of Jigawa State, I want to congratulate the students and the parents. And I want to assure you that Jigawa State government will continue to support you from now up to the end of your educational time. I'm sure the kind of struggle we will go through will not be half or even a quarter of what we have gone through. So be rest assured that your education is guaranteed, inshallah.
I would like to thank His Excellency for the contribution that he has been given to the educational sector. During the tenure of His Excellency, during the 8 months period, His Excellency has provided tremendous assistance toward the development of education sector in Jigawa State. By the time when he came into office, he immediately reviewed the scholarship allowance that are given to the student by 100%.
Some of the students and their parents expressed gratitude to the state government for the opportunity and assured of their commitment to their studies to ensure that they succeed.
From our side, we parents and guardians, we have no single word to use in expressing our profound gratitude. Your Excellency, a very big thank you that cannot be quantified. A very big thank you that cannot be measured. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide you and protect you.
Your Excellency, the past few months have been incredibly tough for us. Since the outbreak of civil unrest by rebellion forces in Sudan. But since you assumed office on 29th of May 2023, we have developed a renewed sense of hope and optimism. Despite the pressing demand and responsibilities of your exalted office agendas, you have never given up on us.
The event underscores Jigawa State's commitment to the development of human capital and the enhancement of the healthcare in the state.
We'll take it away from Nigeria now. Former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has been sentenced to 10 years in jail for allegedly leaking state secrets. Khan, who was ousted by his opponents as PM in 2022, is already serving a 3-year jail term after being convicted of corruption. He has called all the charges against him politically motivated. The conviction under the Secrets Act comes the week before general elections in which he is barred from standing. Former Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, Vice Chairman of Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party, was also sentenced to 10 years in prison by the special court set up inside Adiala jail in Rawalpindi, where both men are being held. The so-called cipher case revolves around the alleged leaking of secret diplomatic correspondence sent by Pakistan's ambassador in Washington to Islamabad when Khan was Prime Minister. With that, we've come to the end of the news update at this hour. But remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you again.